Did you know that your creativity acts like a muscle? It can be trained, overtrained, run sore, and even be conditioned to be easier to access. If you consider yourself a creative person or someone who wants to learn to be more creative, then this video will interest you. And since you clicked on this video, I think the answer to that question is probably yes. Which means the next important question is, are you currently working on or planning to work on some kind of big creative endeavor or project? If you are, then you probably already know all too well the difficulties that come with being creative. Things like finding inspiration, staying focused on a single project, tearing down writer's block, and just overall dealing with massive creative burnout. The problem is the gap between the idea and the finished product. The burnouts that drain you, the distractions that stall you, the false starts, and the projects that have been nearly done for months or even possibly years. That gap actually has a name: bad framing. But the good news is that it's completely fixable, and I can help you with that. Creation Nexus is my own paid inner circle community meant for serious creators of literally every kind. Writers, musicians, podcasters, YouTubers, graphic designers, composers, indie game developers, filmmakers, animators, and anyone else whose work demands real creative input. If it takes imagination and creativity to build, then you belong there. And this really does go for whatever the project is. Maybe you're wanting to be a YouTuber and you don't know where to start. Or maybe you have this idea to write your own book or novel but have no idea how to get started. Well, that's actually why I've put together Creation Nexus. For as long as I've been a creative person, which is most of my life, I've always craved this kind of community where I'm surrounded by other people who are also creative, who want to be creative, and I can kind of bounce my ideas off of and workshop with them like iron sharpening iron. And I've had individuals come in and out of my life throughout it where I've had that kind of dynamic with them. They'll send me their stuff, I'll give them some feedback, I'll send them my stuff, they'll give me their feedback, and it's always been for the best. I've learned and grown from that. But I have found that these communities that I've been a part of get dissolved because they're not taken proper care of, and people aren't taking it very seriously, and it just becomes an issue with creative people specifically of not really holding themselves accountable and not getting stuff done. Which is really in large part how I came up with Creation Nexus as a closed community. An inner circle for creative people to bounce ideas off of each other, connect, network, get feedback, and sharpen iron with iron. Like I said earlier, it's for everybody: writers, YouTubers, graphic designers, anything. Because it offers these connections, it offers people who can work together, feedback, learn from each other, and even I've already benefited from running it, and I'm the one who runs it. Now you might be thinking you don't want to pay for anything. That's completely fine. You should still stick around and hear what I have to say because I will be offering some free resources for your benefit at the end of this video. So even if you don't want to pay for anything, that's totally cool because I still want to give you some real value if you're a creative person, and that'll be from these two resources that I'm giving out for free at the end. But first, let me tell you a little bit about Creation Nexus and how I can help you start to make real progress on your own creative endeavors. The core of Creation Nexus is the guided blueprint framework that I've built out to take you from the start conceptualization phase of your project to the end completion of it. This coursework is built out across 9 lessons that will guide you through the 3 phases of creation in any project. Now let me tell you what Creation Nexus is not. It's not a self-improvement course, a marketing course, a coaching program, or a hobbyist community. And it's really not for everybody. Those things are all still great, and I encourage you to go pursue them, but that's just not what this is. This is a very specific framework for a certain kind of person who knows they're creative and wants to be involved in a community of other creative people to bounce feedback off of each other and learn and grow and network. It's for the kind of person who loves to be creative but lacks the right company of other creators who will encourage you and push you and challenge you and help you grow, all for the sake of improving together. Maybe you don't know where to start, or maybe you got started a long time ago and have worked yourself into kind of a rut, experiencing burnout. Or maybe you've been making good progress, but things just aren't where you would hope they would be by now. My goal in this is to get involved and grant you access to the tools you need to figure out what's wrong, what's missing, and get your project back on track, while also providing you with a community of like-minded individuals who can workshop with you, figure out what's working on your project, offer advice, give feedback, all for the betterment of your own passion project. Creation Nexus is about taking seriously your pursuit to be creative, understanding the structure that feeds your creativity, learning to accept critical feedback, and progressing your craft as a creator. Now, something you might be thinking is, why should you listen to me? Aside from the fact that I'm not only obviously clearly a creator, I am a profitable YouTuber who makes money full-time doing what I love, I'm also the primary editor for Star Wars Theory on YouTube, which I hope are both great examples of how I both express myself creatively and handle project management. In addition to that, I also do music. I have my own industrial, like metal style type music on Spotify under the name Crossglaive. I am one of two members, the other member being Jarf, who lives in the UK, and we work together to create this industrial kind of deathcore, metalcore style music. We have put out 2 tracks as of now. We're working on the 3rd. We have a full album basically finished that we're just refining and putting out. That's another avenue where I express myself creatively. I handle project management and flow, and I use the Creation Nexus methods to get each track done, to plan the album, to plan the artwork, which I do the artwork as well. And I'm even pursuing a second metal project with another friend of mine, but I won't talk about that here. For Crossglaive, I write most of the instrumentals, the lyrics, and the vocals. He handles some parts of the instrumentals and does all of the production, so we're kind of a power team. Not to mention, of course, the Star Wars podcast I host with Jular and Gabriel, where we just talk about Legends content, review the books and the games. Great time, but that's a different creative project that I manage. As for writing, I've actually written 3 books. Now, they haven't been published or anything, and I'm not really pursuing getting them published. In my head, I kind of see them as I was refining my skills and getting better as an author, but I am actively writing a science fiction novel, which I plan to self-publish and start selling and promoting here on the YouTube channel. Really excited about that. I'm gonna have more details on that one soon, but that's another avenue that I am creative in, and I use the Creation Nexus blueprint to manage that project. But what about credentials? Well, I've actually got my bachelor's degree in English with an emphasis on literature. That's what I love. I love studying and reading and history, but in that time, I took 4 years of creative writing classes. I have always loved being creative. I've always loved what it looks like to manifest creatively and to bring my own creativity out of me. And those 4 years of creative writing classes helped me learn so much. It gave me so many tools that I still use to this day for the music stuff, for the book stuff, for my YouTube channel. I've been utilizing these tools from those creative writing courses for years. Not to mention that I also worked for over 2 years at a marketing firm where I learned a lot about marketing and promoting things and whatnot. So I am very proud of my mental library of assets and skills that I've acquired over the years. And this Creation Nexus is my way of giving those tools to you and like working alongside other creators and hosting a inner circle community that is friendly, helpful, beneficial, edifying, and fun. Now, I will say that my trying to do all of these different things will either sound really impressive or really stupid depending on who you are. And the truth is that I like to think it's both. Having this many irons in the fire all the time is not only ill-advised, it's kind of terrible. It's actually even held me back in a lot of ways. I think I probably would have been more successful at one thing a while ago if I just spent all of my time on it. But the truth is, I love what I do. I love all of these things. I love being creative in these different avenues, and I hope that one day all of them will be very successful. But it is very difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. But also by doing all of these things, I have gotten so much experience in so many different avenues that I've become something of, I would like to think of myself as a Renaissance man. I'm of a unique personality where I just adore being creative, pursuing the act of conceptualizing, planning, and executing, talking to other people about their projects, hearing about what they're working on, offering insight, receiving insight, telling people about what I'm working on. It's my favorite thing in the world. So this Renaissance man mentality that I have has held me back in some ways, but it's also given me such a refined palette of skills and understanding in so many different avenues. And it takes a lot to stay as creative in all of those different ways as I do. And through my Creation Nexus methods, I can show you how I continuously keep that wellspring of creativity flowing in my brain. And so much of it all probably seems a lot harder than it is at first, because my real secret is I just reframe the perspective of what being creative really looks like. The vast majority of our biggest weaknesses and hurdles actually just comes from false preconceived notions about things that by reframing it eliminates those weaknesses and hurdles. And by reframing a few things and applying a few certain tools, I follow this Creation Nexus method that I've been talking about in pretty much every project I do now, and it allows me to stay creative, to stay on track, and to get a project from start to finish with relative ease. So to reiterate, if you are someone who's looking to learn how to be more creative or refine your creative process, or even just have access to a community of like-minded creative individuals like yourself, That's Creation Nexus. Now, I've built all of this out over on skool.com, where you'll have access to the 9 lessons, which are short because I'm not trying to waste your time. I'm just trying to explain the reframing, grant you access to the tools, and then get you using them as soon as possible. But the real value of the Creation Nexus is the community. It's the people that are already in there that I'm working with, that are working with me, sharing our insights, workshopping with each other. We have weekly meetings where we share what we're doing. We work together. I've got 2 members in there already who have collaborated on a project that they had no idea they were going to work on together. The weekly calls are great. It's always so relieving to share your work with other people and receive some feedback, and we try to get to everybody. That being said, there is also something of an accountability factor, because if you join and you're a member for a month or 2, and I see that you're not really participating, you're not showing up, you're not posting work, then I will, try to have a one-on-one call with you and find out what's going on, if we can help, if we can get you posting and being creative, or if it's really just not for you, because let me be clear, I don't want to take your money. If you join and you don't do anything, I'm not going to be comfortable letting you just pay and not participate. So I'll probably try to refund you, ask you to reconsider if you want to be a part of the group, but I don't want to have empty members. I'm not looking just to make money and take money. I'm trying to provide a community that will help you be more creative. So if I see that you're not deriving any value from the course, probably going to ask you to leave. I'm not going to take your money. That's not what this is about. And it's not even to teach you how to do whatever project you're working on. There's other courses and stuff for that, I'm sure. The point of Creation Nexus is to unlock your creativity to learn to achieve whatever your goals are on your own and share it with us. It's to have access to a community of people on the same mission as you. Now, the path on that mission may be different. Like I said, some people might want to be a YouTuber or an indie game developer or a podcaster. The Creation Nexus is about keeping you on the mission. Now, it's possible that once you get in, you'll decide the community is not for you, you didn't derive any value from the courses, you are free to cancel literally whenever you want. There's no cancellation fees or anything like that. You come in, you participate, if you don't like it, you leave. But I think if you're a creative person, you'll find there's going to be a place for you. Right now, I've got 2 or 3 indie game devs in there who are always showing new 3D models or different levels and stuff that they're working on. We just finished workshopping the reveal trailer for someone's indie game that's in the community. We have 2 other YouTubers in there who are sharing their ideas for videos and where they want to take their channel. We've even got a composer in there who shares his music and his work samples and stuff. So it's always so fun to do our weekly workshare meetings and just hear what everybody's working on. So if any of that sounds like something you could use in your life today, then head over to skool.com and the link in the description and get involved today. Let us help you unlock your full creative potential over at Creation Nexus. Or if you're still not sure but you've stuck around to hear about my free offering, let's talk about that. If you send an email to the address on the screen here with the topic line Creation Nexus, you'll receive access to a PDF version of the Creation Nexus framework that's been highly condensed just to give you an idea of what it is, and even that should actually be enough to help you figure out how to go about getting started and refining the project you've been wanting to do. It's a guide work on how you should plot and plan getting your project from start to finish. Along with that, I'll also send you a video of the first of the 9 lessons from Creation Nexus, totally free, just to get you started and realize whether or not it's something that you'd be interested in hearing more about. So if any of that sounds like it resonates with you, if you're that kind of person, if that kind of community sounds like something you would benefit from, head over to skool.com and get involved with us over at Creation Nexus. If not, totally fine. I'm glad you stuck around and watched the video. Try to take advantage of the free resources I put together for you, and I hope even those can be helpful. I know this is a little bit different from my regular retrospective videos, but I appreciate you guys sticking around and hanging out with me in the meantime. I hope I'll see you over in the Creation Nexus, but if not, I hope I'll see you in my next videos. I'm still working on some really interesting video game breakdowns and retrospective content that I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun with. I can't wait to share it all with you. Otherwise, as always, I appreciate you watching, liking, and hanging out with me, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.